Please welcome J.J. Green to the podium.
'23, how are you? Thank you, Champlain College. Thank you, President Hernandez, faculty, staff, for this opportunity to speak to the online graduates today. This is a tremendous honor that I will never, ever forget. So, 23, I want to talk to you about something called the clock, just for a few minutes. Can you hear it? There's a clock ticking. Tick, tick, tick. This clock has been ticking in your head for 2, 3, 4 years, maybe more. You hear it at work, you hear it at the dinner table, you hear it in the shower, you hear it in your sleep. You can hear it right now, ticking. This clock is the thread that connected your decision to go after this moment, this magnificent, transcendent measure of time right now. This clock, since you started, has metered out in perfect, synchronous increments a strand of opportunity. And through hard work, long hours, exasperation, exhaustion, challenge and triumphs, with the guidance of the faculty here at Champlain College, the sacrifices you and your families have made, and because of the magnificence of the human brain, your brain, that strand of opportunity has been woven into a sublime masterpiece of human embroidery of knowledge, you. And today that masterpiece is on display. Very shortly, you'll get your diploma. But that clock is still ticking in your head. Tick, tick, tick. You can hear it. I know you can. But what is that, you ask? What you hear now is a different clock. It's just been activated today, this moment. You've just entered the 0 hour for the next phase of your career, your educational development, and your life. Because learning never stops. Challenges never cease. Preparation is constantly required. But this time it's a different clock. It's not just your individual clock. It's a global clock that everybody can hear ticking. It's a clock ticking in Burlington. It's ticking on your street, ticking in Washington. It's ticking in New York, ticking wherever you are in the US. It's ticking in Ukraine. It's ticking in Sudan. It's ticking out on the high seas. It's ticking in the airspace. And it's ticking in cyberspace. It's everywhere. This ticking can be translated into every single language known to humankind. The message? Help. The degree that will be conferred upon you shortly has prepared each one of you to answer that call. And here's how you answer it. You answer it by staying in the moment. You answer it by constantly thinking and learning about the world's problems and understanding that this degree you get today empowers you to fix it, to fix those problems. You answer it by feeling the pain of our fellow humans in far-flung places, what they're going through. You answer it by absorbing the collective euphoria of this triumphant moment. And never letting this moment out of your sight, using it to motivate you to master the challenges of the day and to create the solutions of tomorrow. This is supremely important because we live in a world today where reality makes it possible to easily lose yourself. A world that seems to be a perfunctory digital environment dominated by speedy digital tools like artificial intelligence. We use it to do everything from talking to each other to fixing complex problems. We use it to act, to interact, and to react. But because of these newly emerging technologies, sometimes we're unwittingly steered down paths that we never intended to take. So keep in mind, these new digital technologies cannot be used to replace human judgment, critical thinking, and integrity. Not only are those elements essential to building trust between people, but they are unique attributes that AI cannot replicate. Keep that in mind. So stay conscious, stay aware of what your name on this diploma you're about to receive says. It says you are ready for this challenge because that's what Champlain College does. It readies you for work, makes you ready for life, and it readies you, as President Hernandez said, to make a difference. In the late 1990s, I was on top of the world. In a 3-year span of time, I worked as a reporter for ABC Nightline News. I left there, went to CNN, same year, worked as a weekend reporter in CNN's DC bureau. Shortly thereafter, I went on to C-SPAN to host the vaunted Saturday morning Washington Journal edition. Then came word I was about to be let go. Change of plans. I wasn't ready for that. The year 2000 was upon us. It was a new year, a new decade, a new century, and a new millennium. Everything was new, it seemed, except me and my skills. So I had to quickly learn a lot of new things. So I had to open my window on the world a lot wider. So I spent the next 4 years traveling and working abroad as much as I could. I learned languages, learned about cultures. I sought out mentors and had experiences. The result of that phase of my education prepared me for the next stage of my journalistic career, and unparalleled opportunities that had elevated me to a place I never imagined I would reach, including covering President George W. Bush, meeting President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama, interacting with CIA directors Mike Hayden, Leon Panetta, Secretaries of Defense Jim Mattis and Lloyd Austin, and Admiral Mike Mullen, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. In the last decade or so, I've been able to go underway on a nuclear-powered Los Angeles-class submarine. I've flown in an F-16 fighter jet with the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds. I've been on trips to dozens of countries on assignment, including being embedded with the U.S. military in the Middle East, Iraq, Afghanistan, East Africa, Europe, and Central Africa, Central Asia as well. And perhaps the most surprising development is that I've been asked to share my thoughts on global security concerns in places like Estonia, Latvia, Morocco, just to name a few. But the curious thing about opportunity is that there is never a warning before it knocks, but there is a clock associated with opportunity. It doesn't just sit there and wait for you to decide, oh, I'll be ready in a week, a month, a year, 5 years. Nope. Opportunity requires an immediate answer. And as the winds of change quicken, and with each sunrise they whistle through the tangles of our global order, We bear witness to the unprecedented technological change that's dramatically improving life as we know it for humankind and our prospects. But at the same time, we're reprising as a people some of our less than intelligent mistakes of the past. All we have to do is look at the violent conflicts now underway in the world right now to understand the human toll these mistakes are taking. Also, look at the Pacific Ocean, the great garbage patch. Look at the melting ice in the Arctic. Look at the political struggle that women are facing when it comes to their health and reproductive capabilities. The gravity of this situation is mirrored by our own deep political divides in this country, which are punctuated, it seems, by a string of seemingly unending mass shootings. In many places on this planet, the clock is being turned backwards, including our own country. Backwards for minorities, backwards for poor people, backwards for the innocent people in places like Eastern Europe and in Central Africa, backwards for school children, even backwards for our climate. But the thing about turning clocks backwards is that that action does not stop time itself. Time keeps pushing forward, further and further into the future, leaving behind yesterday and reaching for tomorrow. So, finally, as you step off this stage today with your diploma and all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto, remember that clock that's ticking is a reminder of the opportunities ahead of you. It's also a reminder of the late civil rights icon, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who said, "The moral arc of the universe is long, but it bends towards justice." That means it will take time, but it will happen. And the clock you hear means it's your time to make a difference. Thank you.